So the first question that Dr. Hampton asked was, what effect do social integration, academic integration, and institutional factors have on college completion, and how these factors are interrelated? So cultural integration, what we see is that students will join extracurricular activities to help integrate themselves socially on a college campus because that's the best way to immerse themselves. That's only helped by living on campus, and that's from the Tierney article from 1992. When students fail to meet academic standards, that's when they usually will leave college. But Coleman, Hoffer, and Kilgore tell us that, interestingly enough, only a small portion of students leave university because they're expelled for academic reasons. So when people find that their academic demands are too easy or too challenging, they like to change institutions. And so when they want to go to change institutions, that's where the transfer process comes in. And that's where we see the institutional roadblocks come in. Institutionally, there's not any mechanism by which students can transfer in an efficient way, and so that's what makes it so difficult for students to transfer, and that's really what interrelates those three different items. The second question was, how do the barriers faced by black students on campus compare to those that they experience off campus? And when examining the black experience at a university, we have to understand that racial tensions continue to exist in our higher education system. The Fegan article that we were supposed to read looked at Olivier College. And at Olivier College, there was the distribution of KKK literature on campus, and many black students felt as though they were in danger when they were on campus. And the article goes on to examine Grinnell College in Iowa, which is a predominantly black campus. And so when contrasting these two campuses, essentially what they found was that the societal issues from the society at large do permeate the college campus, and we can see that college students are having to face those issues that are theoretically not supposed to exist at the higher education level. The last question that we were asked was, how does the use and allocation of space symbolize the status or lack thereof of black persons on college campuses in general? And what does the allocation of space for all persons of color on your college campus say about their status and visibility? So when we look at the allocation of space with regard to college campuses, the Fegan article goes on to look at what's called white space on campus. And it describes these spaces, which are general academic spaces at predominantly white universities, as described by black students that visited these universities as being white and hostile and alien. So what we can see is that these characteristics of particular subgroups are labeled to these physical spaces, whatever they may be. So you have these social spaces, or these physical spaces, taking on the characteristics of social spaces. And when these things happen, you see that those two things are very much interrelated. With regard to TCU on campus, I feel like we're a majority white campus, but there isn't really any racialized space on campus. Generally, you can see that most general spaces can be tagged as white spaces just because we're generally tagged as a white university. But I don't think that those are problems that really exist on our campus with regard to racial tension that may exist on a college campus in general.